Well, a very good afternoon to you all. I hope you're all good. It's Friday. It's the 28th of June 2024, and we're here to take a look at the long-term patterns and trends for the county of Kent over the next. I would have thought the 7 to 10 will be looking towards the 14-day mark. So it's really going to cover the first half of July. Well, start where we usually do. The central England temperature running at 14.0, just zero point 0.1 below average now. So if you've been following this for the remainder of the month or what we've had so far, we were quite significantly below average. But this very warm spell that we had up until a few days ago really did pack a bit of a punch for those few days, and the temperatures have responded. So it's just possible that despite having a month yet again that was sort of below sort of a very sort of negative anomaly, it could turn positive by the end of the month. The warmth goes on and on, but it has turned cooler. These are your maximum temperatures across the UK today. We've lost the 29s and the 30s in favour of 20s and 21s. I note Lakenheath Royal Air Force Base is top of the hots this afternoon, and many stations around about this sort of the Essex area, the home counties, are all sitting close to that 20-degree mark. But it is a lot fresher, and I think we've all noticed the change over the course of the last 24 hours. So there we were on Wednesday, all those positive anomalies over the UK, bathing us in those warm temperatures. But your distant memory now, look, we're back in the blues. That means that we're slightly below average for where we should be now. And all of that warmth has now been pushed well east over towards the Czech Republic and those Balkan states. So yeah, things have changed. And that is because low pressure is on the scene. And if we just take a look at the facts chart for noon today, well, there you go. Low pressure to the north of the UK, a parent low, but other little low pressure systems zipping in from the Atlantic, becoming quite close to the UK to bring some rain or showers. But as is the nature with low pressure, sometimes it brings in its fronts. In between, we get brief ridges of fine weather. And I think this is really going to be the order of the day for the next week, really. Yes, low pressure. Yes, troughs of low pressure, but also some ridges. So there will be some drier and finer days. So as we've mentioned, this is the facts chart today. This is the facts chart to tomorrow. So tomorrow is one of those drier days in between frontal bands. Should feel okay. But on Sunday, we bring a cold weather front down, which brings the risk of a fair few showers now on Sunday morning. I think we were hoping that there were going to be some showers clearing out the way early. I think the signal has changed, and certainly here for Kent, it's likely that Sunday morning and possibly a part of the afternoon will now be affected by those showers. But by Monday, again, another ridge pushes in, another frontal system moving in from the northwest will turn things damper later on in the day. And then by Tuesday, another weather system from that system on Monday clears the southeast coast, and then we're back in the sunshine and showers scenario. So yeah, each day next week is going to be very slightly different. We'll just now take a look at the ECM's take on things, the projected rainfall sequence. We'll run it from today through to Sunday the 7th. So that's 9 or 10 days. It just gives us a flavour for what's going on today. It's been bright, rather a lot of cloud has come in, but temperatures have been struggling today at 19 to 20. Tomorrow, another low pressure system pushing in from the west, affecting Scotland, perhaps towards the northwest of the UK. But as I've mentioned, for the southeast tomorrow, a dry day, a fine day, and perhaps a warmer and more of a humid feel tomorrow. By Sunday, we've seen on that facts chart, this is Sunday morning at 6 o'clock, a band of showery rain pushes down from the northwest, potentially heavy for a time across the far southeast before that eventually clears out the way during the course of the afternoon. And then by the time we get to Monday, well, there we go. A fine start, just the risk of a few showers, but later on in the day, another weather system with its fronts push across from the west. By the time it hit Thursday, or should I say Tuesday, a weak ridge of high pressure pushing in from the southwest gives us perhaps a drier and a brighter day, just the risk of 1 or 2 showers. But by the time we reach Wednesday, there you go, another Atlantic weather system pushing in from the west, turning us all showery by the end of the day. This is Thursday, so a run of westerly breezes. I think by then these breezes will be starting to pick up as well, and we'll have a little look at that on the ensembles in a moment. And as ever in this unsettled setup, there will be some showers around. And this is Thursday, this is Friday, and then really by the time we reach next weekend, the status quo is maintained. We've got low pressure to the north of the country, high pressure well to the south of the country. We're in a run of westerly breezes with showers, particularly on those western coasts, but even as late as Sunday the 7th. And I know it's all a long way off. Another little area of low pressure, a secondary area of low pressure, just pushes up through the Bristol Channel to bring another spell of rain across southern Britain. So yes, July starts on an unsettled note. And if we now just take a look at the jet stream, running it through from now, there you go. This is today. This is tomorrow. It doesn't really move too far from the UK. This is next week, Monday. So we have that respite by Tuesday. It's firing in. This is Wednesday. This is Thursday. This is Friday. This is next Saturday, and this is next Sunday. So yeah, unsettled is the buzzword. Showers, rain at times, but equally the odd dry and brighter day, and there were temperatures around average. We'll take a look at those trends. So what I will start off by doing is we'll go to Maidstone, the county town of Kent, and we will take a look at those 2 metre temperatures just to check if there is anything on offer in terms of heat. Well, I generally look towards 24, 25 for our warmest days. There's no real sign of that, certainly sort of for the next week. Some spikes later on, around about the 8th, 9th, 10th onwards, but they are outliers and confidence is fairly low at the moment. I think it's fair to say that temperatures, as I've mentioned, average at best. Precipitation spikes, well, surprisingly, yeah, we know that we're going to be relatively dry this weekend. There will be the showers on Sunday morning, but yeah, through the course of next week, there are rainfall spikes, but I don't think too many of them are showing anything in terms of significance. So it's likely that these rain bands will be fast moving, fairly brief, and again, not too much in the way of rainfall. But as we see towards the 5th and the 6th, more active area of low pressure. I think we saw that secondary low next weekend potentially coming in and giving us a bit of a soaker. So that's something that we need to just keep an eye on in the slightly longer term. So we've looked at the temperatures, we've looked at the precipitation spike, and we'll just take a look at the pressure. Well, we look towards 1,025 to 1,030 for high pressure and settled weather. Fairly static around about the 1,015 mark for the next few days, and no real signal in the longer term either. So, but as we've seen, sometimes these little areas of high pressure, they do crop up at relatively short notice, and things can improve. So, as ever, do keep an eye on these forecasts. We'll look at the wind. I will use Folkestone for that one, and I'll tell you for why. It's because closer to the coast, you get a better feel for, for the air mass, the speed, less friction, etc. And there you go. So a bit breezy as we've seen today. Calms down a little bit over the weekend, but as we mentioned, as those low pressures get a little bit closer towards the end of next week, the 4th or 5th, those breezes do start to ramp up. So yeah, I can't offer you anything significant in terms of summary weather at the moment. So that's it in summary. Unsettled period of weather coming up, certainly for the first 10 days of July. Frequent bands of showers coming through from the west on occasion. The odd ridge of high pressure. Temperatures average at best. No sign of anything significantly signs of summer on offer just yet. Well, I hope you've all found the forecast useful. As I say, I'll be back to write all of this up in the 10-day thoughts if you're a premium member on Sunday over on Facebook. But if not yet, I'll be back with the written forecast for the weekend later on today. So thanks for watching, and ciao for now.